I hope you are better now.
Yes, we definitely are. How are you?
I'm fine. These lives can be so irritating sometimes.
I know technology just never works sometimes, does it?
It doesn't. Definitely not for me.
So we were just saying that you've been in Mumbai through the whole of the lockdown. For
Yes.
anyone who's joining now and missed that earlier conversation. Yeah, so what have you been up to during lockdown?
A lot of things actually. I basically, first of all, I went off social media,
Okay.
unlike many others. So Instagram and social media wasn't a part of my life much for almost 2 months. So I had all the more time. I had a lot of pending work from my father's business actually that I used to handle a long time ago.
Hmm.
Before I started to act. And there was some paperwork that was pending for years on it. So, and I never had the time to really, sit and finish all of that because there was never so much time at hand,
Yeah.
even in between jobs. I was working in corporates also after that, and then I started to act. So, this is the first time I think I had 2 months like completely at my disposal. So, I think I finished something that was pending for years, like 8, 9 years. So that, and then now I try maintaining a routine. First of
Mhm.
all, it's that sometimes you can just do whatever you want to do, and but yeah, I try maintaining a routine. Like get up in the morning. Most of the times, I try doing some meditation, uh, writing, and just spending time with myself, listening to music. I picked up sketching after a very long time, so just that.
Okay.
And, um, And yeah, watching a lot of stuff on the OTT platforms.
There's a lot on offer at the moment, isn't there? I can understand that. I think most of the world is doing that. Sorry, I'm just going to scroll the comments because I don't want to miss any questions. 1 second.
Okay. Something about Tiger. Tiger is Tiger is an amazing person, very humble, very sweet. It was amazing to work with him.
So I wanted to ask you actually, because you've in the last few years you've done so many great projects and you've had so much appreciation from them. So first of
Thank,
all, I've got to say congratulations on that. Um,
thank you.
you've done such varied roles and been part of so many like quite big projects. So have you felt like the last few years have they been quite jam-packed for you, or have you had any time out?
No, I have. It's not been like totally back to back. But what has happened with me many times is that sometimes I'm shooting for two, three things at the same time.
Hmm.
So then those couple of months will go completely back to back and jam packed. And then there have been times when I was free for maybe a month or 15, 20 days roughly. But then because somewhere or the other, one project or the other was getting released also. So there was some promotional activity around that. So a lot of my so-called free time, like not being on set time, used to go in the promotional activity. And the actors are always busy without work also because there's always something happening, something brewing, some meeting, some, sort of discussions or script reading. Something or the other is always up. So yeah, in totality, thank God I've been mostly busy. And there were times when you really just want to breather. And because when you do two, three things at the same time, that becomes a little tough, even as an actor, because as an actor, one would prefer doing one thing
Hmm.
at a time so that you're totally concentrated on that one character and one role. But yeah, life isn't fair.
So what were you shooting for last? Was there anything you were shooting for before lockdown?
Yep. I just finished this series called Ashram, which is directed by Prakash Jha. So we just finished that in February, thankfully, the entire sketch. And I finished a movie with Devendu Sharma. I think that might release in the next couple of months. That's called Meri Desh Ki Dharti. So we were finishing that, and I was shooting for Criminal Justice, uh, the second part, the second season. So exactly when the lockdown happened, we just started our last schedule of about 15, 20 days. So we were just 2, 3 days into the sked, and then we had to shut down. So now we're planning to restart. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely, I can understand. I think we're all looking forward to a little bit of normality, even here in the UK. We are as well. So you've just mentioned criminal justice. Obviously, you played the role of a lawyer in that, and I think I absolutely loved you in that. It was so amazing to see you in such a
Thank
role
you.
like that. So is I don't want you to say anything that you obviously you probably won't say anything which you can't say. But in the second part, do we get to see more of you?
I can't really comment on that,
Yeah,
because it's difficult because both the places my role was pretty important. So even in the
yeah.
first season, the role is as important. So I really can't say whether you get to see more of me per se.
Hmm.
Uh, it's different because now she's become more sorted. She knows what she's doing more. Like in the first season, I was still a novice,
Yeah.
figuring my way out, and mostly being shepherded by Meeta Mam's character and then later Pankaj Tripathi's character. So this time, me and Pankaj sir are more shoulder to shoulder in some sense. We both have our own places, our own ways of doing things. So that's kind of different. And of course, the case that we are this time dealing is very different. So, so yeah, I don't think I should be talking more about that unless I slip up with something that I'm not supposed to say. I have this, habit of giving long answers. I always have to hold myself back.
No. Thank you. I think that's very. I'm excited actually to see the second part of Criminal Justice.
Sure, man.
Um, I actually wanted to ask you actually your working relationship and also your on-screen relationship with Pankaj Tripathi sir. I think on screen you were so good together, and I feel like you were the kind of unique part of Criminal Justice. How was it working with him? He's such an amazing actor as well.
He's an amazing human being as well. I think he is so effortless on screen because that's him in real life as well. He's very effortless a person, very simple, very real, and quite unique. He has his own way of talking, of addressing things. His way of looking at the world is also extremely different. So many a times when we're on set and when you have moments between shots, like you're standing just because before you're called on for action and then maybe between takes,
Hmm.
we we get into these extremely off-record conversations and they're very surreal. Like suddenly he'll just come up with something about maybe how so many people have so many air conditioners these days and what's happening to global warming or just about life and just about relationships, something or the other, which is quite unusual. So it's always good to be working with you because you get a different perspective on things. Um, and the good part is that he says the deepest of things in a very light-hearted manner. You know,
Okay.
so yeah, I mean, it was amazing. And then he had so many stories to tell me. Like in the first season, he had so many stories to tell me about his village, about that life and how things are. And we talk a lot about acting and skills. So yeah, I mean, about politics. So a lot of conversations. It's always it's great to know him both as a co-actor and as a human being.
Absolutely, I can totally understand that. Now, I wanted to ask you. Obviously, I've asked you about one of your co-stars, but in terms of so you've worked with so many people, do you think you could give or even highlight any certain people that you've worked with that you feel like you learnt the most from?
Yeah, I mean, so many of them actually. That's a difficult question. I think I'll just talk about a few people who just, you know, pop up right, immediately. One would be Sanjay sir. When I did Padmavat with him, I think I've learned a lot from him. It was the most challenging also because he's a very different person. He's a taskmaster and wants everything perfect, like 1,000% perfect.
Mm.
And it was a different environment altogether for me, a different kind of acting because he works a lot on beats, on sur, and on rhythm as well. And it all has to be real while it's so choreographed. So, and it was a lovely opportunity. So I think him, Prakash Jha, who I've just worked with very recently, I've had one of the most fabulous times working with him and also learned. Actually, you know what? I've learned from everyone, like even from my co-stars, like Vidya I worked with, Vidya Balan. I loved seeing her on set. Even Salman sir or Saif. Like Saif is so humble and again, with Saif also, one can have extremely enlightening conversations. And at the same point in time, I got to work with Neeraj and Vikram. So yeah, that way I've been very blessed. I used to love watching Deepika on set as well, because the kind of dedication and poise that she comes with, and just watching her perform sometimes, especially in the songs, used to be such an eye opener of what all goes into it. And from all of them actually, Nagesh Kapoor I worked with. So the fun part is that every director is different. In between, my high was of working with different kind of directors, because though they are all extremely passionate and they all are extremely sure about what they want. At the same point in time, their approach to the script, their approach to craft is very different. The way they reach the end, and that was very exciting. So just to be able to mold yourself according to different personalities completely, who are all driven by the same passion at the end of the day, but just the way they come to it is so varied. And as an actor, you know that it is finally the director's instrument. You just have to mold yourself according to them the best way you can. So I think a lot of my growth has happened through that, and a lot of confidence has come in order to to be able to understand the director's language and to find your own somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. But then, so with the characters that you play, as you say, obviously the director is the captain of the ship. But have you worked with directors where there is a to and fro, where you are able to give your input as well? I'm sure you must have worked with directors like that. So if it's an ongoing conversation, how much of you do you put in each character?
How much do I put in? I think, see, again, every director has a very different way of approaching it. Like with Sanjay sir, though he has a very different language altogether, and he's a master of that language. So I really wouldn't have the guts to really say much there, because I used to feel so scared of him also, to be very honest. And also because he really, that's the space that he has pioneered and mastered, right? I'm very new to that, so I wouldn't really know much. And plus with Sanjay sir, a lot is about the choreography, a lot is about how the camera is capturing it, the way the shot is and what he wants. So but with me, I just was learning and kind of soaking in everything from him more than anything else. But also at the same point in time, he's extremely democratic, very democratic. There'd be times that he'd call all of us, even for a scene where we are not involved, and which could really make a lot of difference in the storytelling. He would ask us what we thought as part of the film, as also audiences, what we thought should be a certain way to achieve that scene. And very key suggestions. And once I really became comfortable with him and I had kind of figured my space there, I started talking, and he would always listen. He would always let you be. And with Sanjay sir, in fact, he's one director who would hold 2 hours or almost 3 hours of rehearsals on set before the scene, which is very difficult to do because you're on run time. The clock is ticking. There's so many people on the payroll. You really can't have 2-3 hours of rehearsal on set. But he used to do that, and maybe an hour of discussion with the actors, with the prime actors. So, like me and Shahid would sit like for an hour and a half, just discussing the scene before with him, and then we'd be called, and then we'd have rehearsals, and then we do the scene. So, and there are some directors who would just let you be, like Vikram or Neeraj for that matter. Neeraj will give you a lot of information. He would talk to you a lot. He would tell you what his emotional beats are and what he feels, and then he will let you be. Vikram would not say anything to you. He would just have a little bit of a discussion. He would say, "You're cool, right? I mean, yeah, we'll do it, right?" And then during the scene, if he thinks that you need maneuvering, you need some push, or you need some help, or just confidence, he would be there. You would always feel that he's around, he's there, he's looking at you, he's guiding you, but he will never ever really, you won't be able to tell as to what did he do. So yeah, Nagesh sir and I took a lot of time, because I remember I was the lead in that film, and we were shooting over the course of 16, 17 days, and we hardly had any time for pre-pod, just about readings, maybe a week or 2 weeks in advance, and we were on set. And I think of the 17-day shoot, for 5 days or 6 crucial days when we were shooting like 8 scenes a day, and I was there in every scene. I didn't know what I was doing at all. Like everything that I would like, he wouldn't like. Everything that he would like, I wouldn't like. So every time I'll go like this, he'll like, and every time he's like this, and I'm like, really? I thought it was just about okay. So after a couple of days, I realized, okay, we got somewhere. And that all happens very subtly, you know, you really can't put a finger on it. But, and that's when I think that was about 3-4 years ago. And that's when he opened me up to the idea of doing a completely different thing and leaving yourself or somewhere surrendering yourself. I think with Sanjay sir also I learned how to surrender the most. And once I believe, like as an actor, if you achieve that, of course it has to be with a director that you can trust. But once you achieve that, I think it's such a big high that you can just surrender yourself to the director and somewhere keep bringing your own thing also. And most of the directors today are very open to listening to ideas most of the time.
Okay, so but how do you go about when you are approached for roles? What are the things that you look out for when you sign something? Is it possibly because you want to work with the director or the co-star that's been signed, or is it the actual role itself?
It's all of it actually, you know, and it depends. Different things excite you in a different way. Probably it's the role that you've never done before. And something about it excites you. Probably it's the actor that you've been wanting to work with, and you just feel that working and collaborating with the actor would shift something in you as a performer, or probably give you an experience of sorts, or even just be better for your overall career. There's a production house, and there, of course, I think the most important is the director for me most of the time. Sometimes I just want to do a project with the director, like someone I've adored for a while, and I don't want to miss a chance to work with him. If I'm getting an opportunity to work with him, I just want to feel that what it is to be on set with him and to be directed by him in a scene. So yeah, I mean it's mostly a combination of all of this. I don't think that you can really just take one particular reason and take up a project. But many times it could be just that one kicker also. So these 4-5 different aspects.
Okay, and I also read about that your career choice, acting, was used to be a hobby, right? So you've ended up in a career that was started as a hobby. So how did that actually come about? How did you think, I want to make a career out of this?
To be honest, I don't even think it ever became a hobby.
Okay.
Because I'd done a theatre workshop way back in school for a month. It used to be NST, the National School of Drama. They used to hold 1-month theatre workshops in various schools, only for students. And I'd done that in my 12th standard. And that kind of always stayed with me. I always remembered having the best time of my life there in that whole environment with theatre people and, playing games and reading scenes and just having a good time and exploring ourselves, that artistic vibe. And I come from a business family and I went into corporates later. So there was nothing artistic around my life as such. And funnily, I always found myself comfortable there also. Like I like working with numbers. I like sitting behind a desk and working on a laptop all day and working with files. And I'm pretty okay with the 9 to 10 or 9 to 8 sort of a life. Also, I used to be. So I really never thought of acting per se as a career, because I come from a business family and that's never the way we thought, And plus, I was the only child in the family who could have taken the business forward when it was still functional. And after that, I had to support my family financially also and resettle them and all those things. So it never really occurred to me. But once I settled my family in Bombay, I took a house, of course on loan, but I had settled them, and I had already been working for about 7-8 years by then, because I started working when I was 16 or 17. So I just wanted to take a break and do something for myself. And during that time, I think somewhere I did a workshop with Neeraj Kabir. So I think I always say that he's my guru in that sense because he kind of steered me in this direction. He's one of the reasons I took acting as a career because I was just so enthralled by him and that whole world that he used to create in those 10 days of workshop. We were happy and we used to be singing and on my way to work I would just feel that different kind of life around me. So I just kind of got stuck on that. And I remember going back to my boss and telling him that I want to do theatre. So I was supposed to go to 3 month sabbatical and just do theatre on the side. And I didn't know any better. Like, I'd never watched too many plays. I wasn't someone who read a lot. But somehow I just wanted to do theatre. And I was working with CNBC that time. And we used to have almost everything. Like, we had an anchoring profile, obviously. We had the HR, finance, marketing departments and everything like that. And I was in good terms with them. And they were offering me just about everything under the sun that we put you where you want to be, but this is all the gamut we have, and I just wanted to do theatre. So yeah, I went to do that for 3 months, and that kind of never stopped. And because I used to support my family, I realized that the money needs to start coming from here if I want to continue acting, and that's how the commercial aspect of it started. So I won't say it was a hobby ever because I never really did theatre just for passion and hobby too, because I did all of 3-4 plays, and every time I went back from a job to do a play, it never really got staged. And I could go back to doing a job and then go back to doing a play. So that happened like back and forth some 4-5 times. And finally I started to audition somewhere in between that without really knowing what I was doing. But I mean, that was a choice that I made, that the money needs to start coming from here if I want to still pursue acting and at least see what it is. And before I knew it, it became a career choice.
That's actually a really lovely story because you would never have known that you'd ended up here. You would end up here, sorry. How did it feel when you look back and think the journey that you've been on, even before you got your first kind of job?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, of course. Can you hear me?
Your voice is gone because I got a call in between. So I think that's why I've lost your voice.
Oh.
Do we have to redo this?
No, hopefully it will come back. I think it should come back.
I can't hear you. I got a call in between and I've lost your voice.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second, 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Sorry?
Can you hear me now?
Let me come back.
If you come out and then I'll re-add you. Is that okay? Sorry about that. So Anupria ma'am got a call in between, so she's going to return. Sorry about that. Thank you to everyone who is joining, and hello to you. Hopefully she'll be back shortly, and we will be able to hear her, and she can hear me, hopefully. Let's try and okay. So please send your questions through. I am noting them down as I can. So send your questions through and we will try and add them in. She will be back shortly. Okay, there she is. Right, so we're adding her again, and hopefully this time we'll... Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, you were saying something.
Oh,
are we listening to the other guys also in here? Because I'm not sure whether we are answering any questions.
So I've noted down a few questions which I'll add in between. What was I asking you? Let me think. Oh yeah, so I was asking you. It's quite an amazing journey that you've had in that sense. How do you feel now? Now, when you look back and think the kind of way you've come into the industry, how does it feel now?
I don't know. I mean, it does feel good in some sense because coming from a place, I know it's very difficult. I've seen it all. Like I've seen the entire struggle. So one knows that it's really difficult. There are thousands, I mean lakhs of us trying to make it in this place. So being at least reaching somewhere feels good for sure. And doing it all on your own is very good also. And because I've had a series of transitions like from business to corporates and corporates to acting, it seems like a journey of sorts also. And I think that has really helped me in my acting profile. I mean, in terms of the actor that I am today, because I think as an actor, your life experiences are the biggest treasure that you can, hold back on, rely on, and you need to keep adding on to it, of course. So, yeah, I mean, it does feel good to have done it all on my own, but there is so much more to do. I mean, the journey is just about started, I feel, somewhere. There are these kind of characters that I still want to dabble with and enact and promote and learn from and explore. I think I very recently started exploring myself.
Okay.
And that's the kind of journey that I want to now really, go on, where then everything is also self-explorative. I mean, I think I chose acting also because I'm someone who wants to be different things at the same time, and because no one career can give you that.
Yeah.
There are so many aspects of our personality wherein you kind of start suppressing them over a period of time because the society or your family or your friends and whatever your gender conditioning is make you feel this is right and this is wrong, and you can't be this and you can't be that. But somewhere all these shades stay in you, and as an actor, it's one of the greatest professions that you can explore it all and get appreciated for it and get paid for it and be all those different things if you're able to tap into them. And it's also very, it's also very mind-boggling at the same time. You're quite vulnerable as a person. So, yeah, I mean, if I look back at the journey of Anupria as a person who's found some space in this industry, which is huge and it's very difficult for an outsider to be anywhere here. Yes, I feel very proud, and also because I've seen other spaces of life also, so I feel a little enriched that way. But yeah, the journey is. I mean, there's still so much more to achieve and explore. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite funny you just mentioned that obviously you are essentially an outsider who has kind of made it into the industry.
Sure.
Yeah, kind of. So I wanted to ask you, because obviously the conversation at the moment in the aftermath of the sad
I
passing of
brought it on myself, didn't I?
You did.
I walked into it. I really just walked into it.
No, so I just want to ask you, in terms of your own experience, have you ever felt low in your journey, and have you ever felt as if, no, I don't want to do this anymore at any point?
Of course, many a time. Many times. And I think that would be true for even someone who's an insider and who has, all the luxuries in the world and all the guidance. See, acting as a profession is a difficult profession. Just think of it. You're dabbling with your emotions every single time, and that is when you're on set, and that is when you're doing something you love doing, and you're probably on a project that you want to be working, and that's one of the happiest times for any actors when they're really acting on set, rather doing all the periphery stuff, So that time also you're dabbling with your emotions. You're going through a series of ups and downs, and also like literally fooling around with them. On the other side, it's such an uncertain space. Even the competition is immense. It's very uncertain, and you really don't know when your next job is going to be coming. It's very number driven. I mean, for people who are insiders, I suppose, and who have all the opportunities, I mean, far more than we do, and far more easily than we do. For them, it's a number game all the time, from Friday to Friday. And there again, there's a different sort of politics that goes behind it, and different permutation combinations. Everyone is just trying to do the best they can, irrespective. So feeling as if this is not what you want to do when you feel low, I think that's part of the profession. That's really is something that you signed up for when you've gotten into this field. And as an actor, you're just very sensitized to everything that you're feeling also.
Yeah.
You know, that you're supposed to be sensitized to and sensitive to what you're feeling and how you are, and you're so much here in your head most of the time. It's a different breed, and if you're not that breed, essentially you become that breed also once you step into this. So, and any which ways, I think the insecurities are there in every profile and every profession these days. You know, once in a while, all of us are feeling what we are doing, and that we don't want to do that anymore. So it's not just for this particular field.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I'm just going to join in one question that I saw scrolling. That how do you personally deal with negativity?
Okay, so I mean, you know, what you need to do on a daily basis, and I practice it on a daily basis. Literally, I have to is look for the reasons you're doing it. You know, whatever that is that you're doing it. For instance, like if I'm feeling low professionally for professional reasons, then first of all, this is a choice. I picked up acting not just to survive and make myself a career for money in terms of supporting me or my family. I know I can do that otherwise also. This is something that I'm doing for personal fulfillment, and it is actually a choice. So, I mean, nobody's put a gun to my head. I always keep saying that. So, all that it comes with is something that I signed up for, you know, and you need to deal with that. And just remembering it's a choice that you're making every single day. So, you feel more, I mean, then it makes me feel a little more empowered that way, you know. And we all do have choices at every single time. We do. Uh, Also, there are many reasons outside. I mean, many times I tell myself that this is not the only reason I'm alive. I have my parents, I have my friends, I have my own personal, aspirations. There is so much more I want to explore as a person, as Anupria, and acting is going to aid me in doing that. Finding the person that I want to find or touch and be different people. It's basically to help me achieve that. So things like that, or even like I do everything for my parents. They are my reason, and they've really been my inspiration for everything. So just reminding yourself of the basic things in life and the beautiful things. I mean, today, uh, if I can get up and have my cup of tea aram se and not really worry about bread or butter on the table, I know it sounds very preachy, but sometimes those are the small, small things you need to feed yourself and realize that I can really just sit and watch a series and forget about everything else and just have my tea and enjoy it at that time or enjoy having a conversation. And that's a blessing. Many don't have that. Many don't. I think the life which is most difficult, and we all saw it for migrant workers recently, that was the biggest eye opener of sorts, right? They are the ones who really did suffer, and they are the ones who were really in pain. People who had to walk miles and miles just to be home, and who have to change real professions, who don't know what's going to be tomorrow. We also don't know. I'm sure that all of us are also going through our own set of anxieties and fears. And just the vibe is so different around us that you're dealing with that. Everyone is dealing with that. But once you see that the real problem in life, and when actually problem hits you, you don't really, you can't think of anything else. And actually, what the things that are troubling us right now, very minuscule in terms of the actual problems in life. Like when you have an unhealthy person in the family, or when you are unhealthy. Like in between, I felt sick while I was working, and I was sick for a month, and it was really, really bad. I realized what the importance of health is.
Yeah.
I realized, if I'm working, if I'm feeling fine, it's great. I'm everything is fine in the world. Just make me all right. I just want to be feeling good, because generally, whenever I used to act, irrespective of the temperature, like I have worked in 104 temperature and felt fine. Like I've done the job, at least on set. Before the camera starts and after the camera stops, I'm miserable. But when the camera gets on, I used to be so okay. Everything is to just, disappear. But this time, it was really difficult for me. So I was really, really sick this entire month. And I realized there's nothing more important than health. So, see, I might be saying all this, and I will still go back to feeling miserable after some time, maybe. That's the truth of life. But these are the things that you tell yourself and you deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the way you've explained that actually.
I don't know. It don't make sense, but yeah.
Absolutely. I hope your health is better now as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. There was another question that scrolled up a little while ago, asking you to talk about Hrithik Roshan and your experience working with him.
Oh, Hrithik is just so hot. So yeah, I loved working with him. I really did. I had a mini crush on him throughout the shoot, of course. And I love the way he's very collaborative. He thinks of the entire film, the entire cast. Even if he's not there in a scene, he would, come and give a suggestion. And he'll always be thinking as to where the scene fits in, what's happened before, what's happened later. He's almost like helping us as different characters and the director to really, you know, uh, put things together or correlate different things in the screenplay. So yeah, I mean, it's great to work with him. He's extremely hardworking, very disciplined. So yeah, so much to learn there. And he's hot. Very, very hot.
I know. I think I've always found him like that, but I think in War it was a bit more. He's kind of turned into this silver fox, right?
Yeah. He was really. But also, what I loved is that I saw him right before that in Super 30
Mm-hmm.
and then in War, immediately after. And I loved it. I was like, finally, we Indians are going there, And a superstar like him, who's so well known for his looks, did a role like that in Super 30. He went out of his way to make himself look bad or, in not in shape and really look the part as much as he could or unkept. And he really looked very different and then switched to War. And imagine the amount of effort he must have put in just to do both the things, to become that when he's so good looking, and from that to come back to shape in this way and hit hard with War. I mean, it's a different emotional journey also, not just the physical aspect of it. I know it is emotionally very overwhelming. And so yeah, when you see someone walk like that with so much of dedication and taking those risks and flying high, I mean, that part of him I find the most aspirational because he loves what he does. He loves to act.
But he does come across as a person who always pushes himself as well, as you've just said. So that's quite inspirational in itself.
Totally.
Absolutely. So there have been so many questions scrolling, but a lot of them I've covered already. There's a lot of people saying hello. There's so many fans from so many different places.
Hi, Jay. I'm sorry, I'm just taking names now because.
No worries.
Hi, Rohit.
Saying hello. Oh.
Okay, have I gone again? Because.
Yeah. Did your camera turn around?
I didn't do anything to my knowledge.
Oh, I'm not sure what that is. I can't see.
Even I have no idea what happened. Did I touch something?
I don't know.
Okay. Would we have to do this yet again?
I'm not sure. Can you? It looks like you've just switched the camera around.
I don't know what. Let me see. Yeah. Thank you. I'm technically now.
That's okay. Someone's asked, what is your next? I know we've spoken about this. What is your next series coming up?
So Criminal Justice 2, which is in shoot right now, like in between shoot. And then there is Ashram, which will be on MX Player. So that will be out. And there's this movie I was talking about, Meditation, which they are hoping to release in the theaters. But that's the lockdown and everything gets over and we go back to normal life.
Absolutely. I was going to ask actually, when you return to shoot, do you know how it's going to be when you're shooting? Because obviously with the COVID-19 virus still around, do you know what India is putting in place for the TV industry or the film industry and in terms of protective measures?
So what I understand is a lot of guidelines need to be followed. Like, okay, except barring the actors, the rest of the crew will be cut down to maybe 20%. So and it will be a different world altogether. Even for us actors, we used to have a barrage of a team around us. So now everything is going to go like extremely bare minimal and whatever is required with utmost, strictness. So like
Yeah.
maybe if I had two makeup people, I would probably have one with
Mm.
the stylist and her assistants and her assistants. Then probably there'll be just one person, even for the makeup, for the camera team, the barrage of assistants and their own assistants is to follow. So everything is in terms of the strength of people is going to get reduced a lot, and that will have a lot of effect on the way we function. So that we can only know once we go back to that. Obviously, I am hoping that won't be the case, but maybe again the actors might not have to, but the rest of the team might have to be in suits, or of course will be in masks the whole time, and that can be extremely difficult to work with. So
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, we cross the bridge when we come to it,
Absolutely.
and we'll all have to be very sure and careful about not holding, touching, not unnecessarily touching 10 things, because right now we've been so much in a protective environment of our homes.
Yeah.
So when you're out, you're mindful, but we don't have the habit of being mindful like 24/7.
Yeah.
So those sort of things will, I think, become more stark. Like when you realize that okay, fine, you need to be very careful. Now, what would be the effect mentally of that? I really don't. But I think all of us hopefully will become very appreciative of things that we used to take for granted earlier. Just getting back to work, just seeing the camera, just being on set, doing a character, just being with your co-actors, seeing everyone. I'm guessing it will be a lot of love flowing for at least a couple of months because you'll be very, appreciative of life and of things that we generally take for granted all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's going to be one of those things where when we return to normal, I don't think we'll take them for granted, hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're coming up to an hour, so Instagram is going to chuck us out. So I'm going to end by just asking the question because a lot of fans have been just saying hello. I saw someone from Indonesia, saw someone from Scotland. So do you have a message for everyone who's joined and has left even now because they can rewatch this on BizAsia Live IGTV?
And I was going in.
Fans.
So yeah, I mean, just that. It was great talking to you. Thank you, and I hope everybody is safe in UK as well. I didn't ask you those questions because we were just talking about it the whole time. But I hope everyone's safe and that people, once we go back to normal lives, people still take care and follow the guidelines and remain safe for at least a couple of months to come till we really get done with this pandemic because it's so contagious in nature that to break the cycle, we really have to be extra careful. And yeah, I mean, I just hope that everyone comes out being more responsible towards the environment, towards one another, and we learn to treat each other with more compassion. I think there's a big learning that can come out of these last 4 months. So we all need to do a bit of self-reflection. And
Absolutely.
yeah, good things to look forward to.
Absolutely. It's been so wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to your forthcoming projects, definitely criminal justice too.
Thank you. Lovely chatting with you.
Lovely chatting to you too. And I hope you have a safe rest of the lockdown.
Yep, you too.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care. Bye, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Okay, so that was Anupria Goenka talking to me, Amrita, from BizAsiaLive.com. And we will be back with hopefully another star very, very soon. But hopefully you will be able to, anyone who's joined in between can watch this video on the BizAsia Live Instagram account, IGTV, and we will eventually have it on YouTube as well. So I hope you'll have a lovely rest of the day, rest of the evening, rest of the morning, wherever you are in the world. And this is Amrita signing out.